The Top Intern Season 2 is brought to you by Tampico.
And we are back for episode 3 of your favorite Top Intern on TV3. My name is Bella Mundi and I am your host. Today, our contestants will be facing a high-stakes challenge in a heated group debate. We have 4 groups of 3 who will come on stage where I'm standing and debate on a selected topic. Today, we're looking for talent, we're looking for teamwork, we're looking for strategy, and most importantly, we're looking out for eloquence. But again, this is the Top Intern. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. We'll be right back to meet our first scoop.
Many thanks to Academic City University College.
My expectations for the contestants today is that they are able to give in their best in terms of their fluency and eloquence, and are able to convince me enough as to why I should see them as the winners for today's competition.
My expectations for today's debate is super high because it's from the top intern. In essence, I'm ready to see young individuals argue to the best of their capacity in this debate.
My expectations coming into the debate round is to be persuaded by logical reasoning, is to hear eloquent arguments, and to all around be engaged by the discussions that the debaters have.
You're welcome back. Now, today's debate is very pivotal in determining who or which group makes it to the top. And I'll tell you why. It's not just about presenting arguments. We're looking at complex, critical issues that can be very well articulated on this stage. And so critical thinking is very important. And of course, at the end of it all, we are hoping to crown the best speech today. And so pay close attention and help us decide who wins today. This is the Top in 10. Well, it's time to meet our first set of debaters. I'll take a seat and allow them to have their space on the stage.
Hello everyone. So today my team and I, we are very and absolutely so prepared because we are going to destroy this competition. We spent so many sleepless nights trying to come up with the research, and honestly, we almost fought, but we got through that hurdle and now we are here.
Yeah, welcome to our team. As you can see, we are preparing. This group, the best group, Group 2. We've prepared enough and very best and very well. In days now, we've gone through strict research. Trust me, when you meet us there, they will know what they will get.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Here are the rules for the debate. First of all, we're going to be looking at your style, your content, and your strategy. And the first speaker, both of you, would have 3 minutes each. The second speaker would have 2 minutes. And then the last speakers of both groups would have 1 minute each, and then would have 1 minute for a summary. Are you clear?
Yes, please.
Great. Are you ready? The debate topic for you is, should the rise of social media influencers be celebrated or regretted? And the information as we have it, Group 1, are you debating for or against this motion?
We are debating for the
For
motion.
the motion. And so obviously Group 2 against the motion. I'll start off with you, Group 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, the rise of social media influencers should be celebrated. In recent times, where do you find a recommendation for a product that you've been longing for, or a referral for a service you don't know where to get? Social media influencers is the answer. Social media influencers are content creators on virtual communities like Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, etc., with large number of followers who have expertise and knowledge in a particular area. Examples of social media influencers are Wadimaya, Zion Felix, Asantua, etc. Ladies and gentlemen, I am for the motion. This is because the use of social media influencers as a means of advertisement is cheaper compared to traditional means of advertisement, like TV commercials, radio, billboards, etc. According to Ghana Web, a post on 8 February 2023, the average cost of running social media influencer ranges between 1,000 Ghana cedis to 3,000 Ghana cedis, and that of the traditional ads ranges between 10,000 Ghana cedis to 30,000 Ghana cedis. This helps brands leverage the cost effectiveness in order to maximize returns on the advertising investment. Secondly, it helps create jobs and additional source of income for social media influencers who are on most various social media platforms. According to a post by yen.com on 18th August 2023, one of the highest paid social media influencers, which is Shatamichi, earns 250,000 Ghana cedis a year. According to statistical.com, the annual global influencer marketing market value stands at $24 billion. Ladies and gentlemen, on this note, I therefore conclude that social media influencers have brought about a positive impact both on job creation and profitability to stakeholders and actors in the media business fraternity and to the economy of Ghana as a whole. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much. Today, we stand before you to argue against the motion. The rise of social media influencers should be celebrated. To lay foundation, who is a social media influencer? A social media influencer is any individual on social media platform that has a huge following, either on Snapchat, TikTok, or Instagram. They use their audience as a leverage to create content around specific niches such as beauty, travel, technology, etc. One of the main reasons why we are arguing against this motion, before I get to that, let me tell you a story. Quite recently, my niece, who is about 12 years old, and I were going through social media, and we came across a page, your usual social media influencer page. It had a tick, over 500,000 plus followers, and one picture caught our attention. In the picture, the lady was seated in a first class, it was an airline, and she had a bottle of vitamins on her side, which she swore was the reason why her skin was glowing. You would say this is harmless, but this is where the harm is. My niece asked me, you use the same product. Why isn't your skin glowing as much? So, social media influencers curate a kind of lifestyle, extravagant. The result, it creates a generation where we are plagued by self-doubt and insecurity. Most of the time, the brands they are influencing, they don't use it, neither do they believe in it. But the impact on the generation is what we are accounting for today. They've made it known that if you are a social media influencer, you should have specific possessions, wealth. They've tied success and wealth to possessions. They've watered down what we believe as societal values. Let's go to the second point, my very best, misinformation. Social media influencers are no experts, take it from me, most. They come online, pick a particular topic, and with little or no research, tell you what they think about it. The effect is that most people believe them. Let's go back to 2019, during COVID-19. Most social media influencers came online to tell you that first, the COVID virus is a joke. What does this do? It waters down the work of the public health officials. Also, they came back later and said they had ways through which this could be cured. These ways are unregulated because FDA doesn't go on social media trying to see which drug is accurate or not. However, there are millions of people who listen to them. For example, there's an Australian wellness influencer. Her name is Belle Gibson. She actually came online and she was known because she claimed that she had cured herself of terminal cancer through natural remedies. So she sold a book and some items, and a lot of people purchased it. It was later found out that she wasn't even diagnosed in the first place. Should we celebrate such negligence? Absolutely not. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you very much, panel judges. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here to argue on Group 2, their issue on products, fake products, and fake lifestyle of social media influencers. To be honest with you, the fact that you are a social media influencer does not mean people will believe or buy anything you post on social media. Remember, people have really gained enough education and evaluate anything you post on social media. Now, let's take it for example. Social media influencers have actually developed a very good strategic marketing system, and they also adhere to advertising regulations which help them to be transparent, authentic, and also accountable to the things they post on social media. In the likes of Dr. Evans Dua, Mr. Obin Dako, and that of Stargirl. Now, if you look at the content they post on social media, these are not just fake news or fake products. These are things that are relevant and they are educative to the system. They are educating the system, they are educating the people. Now, when it comes to misinformation, regulating social media influencers will take some time due to their recent coming into existence. However, it has given opportunity to a lot of youngsters who were into acting and other platforms. They were not getting the opportunity in the traditional way or the normal system. Now they use social media as a means of promoting and also engaging followers, which has created a new economic opportunity and a career path for them. In the likes of Nancy Black, and that of Ophelia Osei. So when you look at all this, according to dashup.com, social media influencers will actually drive companies' sales, growth, and brand awareness. And for this, we said social media influencers should be celebrated. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Our opponent stated 2 points: cheaper means of advertisement, creation of jobs, and economic empowerment. I'll touch on the first one. Yes, it is good, but at the expense of life. It is very cheap, but most of our influencers have less ideas about the products they are selling to their public. For example, I quite remember one time an influencer, probably a celebrity who has huge number, talked about paying an amount of money to help a certain person to get a flat tummy or a nice body. That individual was using social media to sell products like, how do they call it? Tea, which will help you have a flat tummy, which is bad. Most of them have fair idea on those products. Secondly, creation of jobs and economic empowerment. It doesn't benefit the society. For example, there is no regulation bounded to TikTok, Instagram, that our government will get a form of income that will help project our country's development. No, we don't have anything like that. But rather, it's their own pocket. And this means of getting money is mostly not right, because they just take the money on the basis of, I want to sell this product, without knowing the product and misinforming the society about the product they are selling. So I think my opponent here, basing on the fact that advertisement and economic empowerment is right to celebrate our influencers, then I'll say they are not on the right path. But rather, there are a lot of dark side within regretting that we have influencers within our country. Thank you.
Honorable judges, ladies and gentlemen, in reaffirming my team's argument, I believe social media influencing through social influencer marketing has come to revolutionize the marketing landscape. It has also come to boost the economy as influencers gain an extra source of income from social media influencing. And as such, I firmly believe and I conclude that yes, social media influencers should be celebrated. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed judges, the motion for us today has been set. From what our opponents have just projected, we are certain that not just that social media influencers cannot do good, but rather we are advocating and weighing for the collective effort and the impact of their actions on the entire society. While they may offer employment and lower costs for advertisement, influencers' rise has come at a steep cost to societal well-being. cultural integrity, and ethical standards. As they say, knowledge is power, but with great power comes with great responsibility, one that influencers in many cases have failed to uphold. Based on this evidence, we believe with no doubt that you will look beyond the glamour and consider the facts, and you have been convinced that the rise of social media influencers has caused should be regretted. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Group 1 and 2 making the argument for and against the topic, should the rise of social media influencers be celebrated or regretted? Thank you very much.
This is Team Spark Minds, and we are here today for a debate, and we are very much prepared. We've done our research, our surveys, and trust me, we are going to nail this one. We are going to win.
Regarding how prepared we are, the heat we carry, I'm not sure our opponents are ready for us. What are the efforts we put in? Yes, we put in a lot of effort. We did relevant research, we did a lot of data analysis in order to get the figures right and to put the facts together.
Oh, right. It's an all-girls squad.
Yeah.
Anyway, you're welcome.
Thank you so much.
Now, we start off with the topic you're debating on. And it is, employers should have the right to access an applicant's social media accounts during the hiring process. Start off with you, Group 3.
Yes. Employers should have access to an applicant's social media account during the hiring process. The hiring process are the series of stages an organization goes through when acquiring an eligible applicant for a job position, and it differs from company or organization to organization. And social media, we are all familiar with, is an online space where we interact with each other and exchange information. Now, social media is the platform where we show our personal branding. So the things we post online, the information we share, and the things we engage ourselves with gives the public a fair knowledge about who you are, the things you value, and also your character. Now, in a situation where you've placed yourself out there, you have a profile out there, which is your social media account. Within a 10 to 15 minutes video, the organization cannot tell all your values or the things you value during that process. And you've already created a profile out there. So it leads us, the organization, to go and find out about you, the things you are valuing out there. A recent case which is circulating on social media, there was this individual who on paper had she qualified to be in a particular profession, but then later findings gave her out that her values and her character online does not link with the profession in which she was going to. There was a conflict, and because of that, she was not called, or she didn't get to be that profession. And I wanted to ask you guys, or I'm saying, assuming the firm did not know about this, what would have happened? They would have either had a tarnished brand image or their reputation would have been at stake. This leads me to talking about a company's reputation or brand image. A company's reputation or brand image is very crucial to them because this puts them into existence. So I believe that every employer has the right to protect this brand image. And if it is to go out there and look for an applicant's social media account before the hiring process, then yes, I believe that every employer should have access to the social media account of their applicants. So to conclude, if Abigail Tego and her colleague were able to go and search about the top internet on the internet, then I, Sandra Zipi, and my colleagues believe that the top intern equally have the right to search about them before accepting them. Thank you, and hence I am for the motion.
What if I told you that that selfie you took recently and posted on the gram, or that tweet you made and posted on X some days ago or some weeks ago is going to be used against you, or is going to be used as a criteria for your next job? How would you feel? That's unfair, right? Distinguished judges, ladies and gentlemen, we are firmly against the motion that employers should gain access to the social media of applicants during hiring process. It's rather unfortunate that we have to be seated here to listen to the other part of the House compete and say that they would rather choose hard work and professional qualification over social media, choose social media content over professional qualifications and hard work. Ladies and gentlemen, for these reasons, we believe that employers are not supposed to gain access to social media accounts of their applicants. Firstly, this will lead to discrimination and bias. In an instance where an employer gains access to your social media account, he or she has their own perspective. How would they understand the context of your post? Would they ask you? No, because it's not within their right to access that. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm against this motion because, secondly, this is a breach of privacy. According to the 1992 Constitution, Article 18, Clause 2, it states emphatically that every person, individual, including the applicant, has the right to privacy. And this does not exclude privacy of communication. Ladies and gentlemen, just as it would be wrong for an employer to gain access to your personal diary, they also do not have the right to gain access to your social media platforms. As we all know, social media platform is a platform where people come to express their views and also post some part of their personal lives there. So are you trying to tell me that you should base my professional qualifications and what I can do for your organization based on my posts or my content? No, this is not so. This is unfair and it should not be done. Also, ladies and gentlemen, I want to state that according to the Data Protection Act 2012, it contains legal provisions that guarantees that an applicant, and that includes all individuals, should have the right to privacy. To conclude, ladies and gentlemen, we stand firmly on the point that employers should not have the right to gain access to an applicant's social media during hiring process. And based on these two reasons: one, it will cause bias, and two, it will lead to discrimination, and three, it will cause breach of privacy. Ladies and gentlemen, the other means to assess an applicant, including interviews, referees, and aptitude tests, and that should be right. Thank you very much.
Hi. You know, it's quite interesting that my colleague wants to brainwash us into believing that social media does not tell who exactly you are. You know, appearances can be deceptive, but morals, nature, our acts, whatever we think in our head is never deceptive. It's hardly deceptive. Whatever you are able to put on your social media tells us to some extent exactly how you think. Miss Bella, you would agree with me that whatever you are putting on your social media, you want us to believe that that is who you are. We can't fake to some level of extent. And we did a survey. We submitted a conclusion to some of our friends, and we had the findings that people actually agree that their social media should be viewed. Why? Because they've been able to build some profiles over the time, which they will not be able to defend during interviews because interview times are very limited. So they kind of agreed, not kind, they actually did agree that their social media should speak for them during the times that the interview process is unable to speak for them. Now, if we are talking about privacy, there is nothing private on social media. Even though social media may have settings and features of privacy, once you sign up on social media, you've sold your right of privacy. Let no one deceive you that you have the right of privacy when it comes to social media. If you want to be private, don't sign up on it. So on this note, I want to tell you that there is nothing being private the moment you sign up going on social media. And every employer should actually have the right to look up to your social media, because for all we know, you may be something we can't tell. Thank you.
Social media, before we start, social media is a personal space. It's a place where people go to air their opinions, their private self. It's a place for freedom of self-expression. And my opponent mentioned that social media is a place people go to exchange information. And I want to clarify that it's not only information that's being exchanged there. People air their political views, their religious views, as well as other views which might not be in line with the hiring manager's perspective. Hiring manager can discriminate against the applicants because of the kind of posts the person might have posted on his social media. Also, we have to take note of the fact that social media, according to the Constitution, social media is, according to the Constitution, social media is free. You can use it for. Social media also is a curated space. People have edited, cut, and merged videos and posted on their socials. And those videos are often created and honestly do not represent the person's full personality and does not represent him as a person. A person's qualification is the easiest way for him to note if he is qualified for a job. Other ways, traditional methods like background checks, like reference checks, like aptitude tests, personality. My colleague also mentioned that it will help you know the personality of the person. Well, personality checks, psychological checks can also be made, or interviews can also be made to also check if the person is a right fit for your company. Also, a notable figure like Sandra Ankobia, she has her social media, she's a model, but her social media does not show the type of person she is.
Time up.
In conclusion, there has been a big clash between my group and our opponents concerning personal branding and privacy. But in all, we stand tall to say that social media profiles should be reviewed by employers during the hiring process of their applicants to enable them assess their professionalism, potential risk to the company, character, and personal branding. You cannot tell me that you post A and then you do B. There are going to be some traits at the end of the day that are going to expose you to your prospective employers about who you are. We believe that whatever you post out there should be a true reflection of who you are, what you do, and what you love. In 2011, according to Law for All, a website, there was 2 employees that made defamatory remarks about their boss. So they were really in the hot soup because of what they did. Hence, we believe that employers should have the right to assess the social media handles of their applicants during the hiring process. Thank you.
Our opponents, did you say there's nothing private about social media? You might be funny. Yes, social media is being used in the hiring process against you, not for you. This social media basically is where you have fun. We all know that social media is about content creation. It's about what your viewers would like to watch. It's not what you have inside that you are giving them. No, we all know of TikTok. You go to TikTok, it's about content creation. If I am dancing, that's what my viewers like, I'll dance. So how do you say there's nothing about privacy there when you are using it against me in the hiring process? Well, that's your view. But according to Statistica, 2021, the unemployment rate was 3.24%, and at 2023, the unemployment rate reduced to 3.08, where there was a decline rate of 0.25%, which shows that.
Time is up. Okay, thank you very much, Group 3 and 4, debating on the topic employers should have the right to access an applicant's social media accounts during the hiring process. Thank you. Let's put our hands together for them.
What a round it has been here at Academic City. Very interesting debate, I must say. The good thing about this is that 2 of these groups would make it to the final round. The bad thing is 2 of them, unfortunately, would have to say goodbye, not to the entire competition, but to the debates for today. And so we're going to find out after our judges have tallied their results. And so this is the top intern. We're here at Academic City University College. Very lovely place, I must say. And this is the top intern. We'll be right back.
Many thanks to Academic City University College.
Interesting conversation I'm having with some of the students here. Well, we've had our first round where they have debated on some topics. Judges have had the chance to collaborate the results, and now we're going to find out which two teams have made it to the next round. So judges, I'm coming over to you.
Right, so for the first group that debated on should the rise of social media influencers be celebrated or regretted, we rated group 2 as the winners. Right. For group 3 and 4, who debated on the topic, employers should have the right to access an applicant's social media accounts during the hiring process. After the figures and the scores were put together, group 3 are the winners.
Well, just like they're standing, I believe they're taking their positions for the next debate. And so all the best to you, because we're going to find out who wins today's episode. So fingers crossed.
So we do know you already. So we're going to go straight into the topic that you're debating on, because amongst the two of you would have to choose one as the ultimate winner for the debate session for the Top Intern Season 2. And the rules still apply. The topic for this session of the debate is news media organizations should be mandated to declare their political affiliations publicly.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed judges, worthy opponents, I greet you all. Today, the motion before the House is news media organizations should be mandated to declare their stance, their political affiliations, and we are here to debate for the motion. I'm going to be as practical as possible so you can understand where I'm coming from. When you give someone an opportunity to give you a product or to sell something to you or to give you an idea, and the person tells you, I'm going to be as neutral as possible, what do you expect? You expect that the person becomes fair on both sides. That is, the media houses, they are mandated to give us information, so we expect them to be neutral on all sides. However, most of the time, in their coverage, in their news coverage and political coverage, you realize that most of them tend to take a particular side under the guise of neutrality. Most mass media oppositions come from the fact that we don't really know the stance this media house is coming from, but they say we are being neutral. For instance, in 2016, media houses were accused of publicizing information that went against the opposition. Somehow, we realized that it was because they had affiliations to the party in power, but they never declared their stance, so we can never say it's true or not. It is very scary to listen to someone who tells you that I'm coming from a neutral point of view, but when you listen or watch their content, you realize that, no, this is not coming from a neutral point of view. So when news media houses are mandated to give us their stance in political affiliations, we know from what view to analyze their coverage. We understand why news media organization A is saying this and news media organization B is saying that. It promotes transparency and accountability. We don't have second doubt about certain things. I know where to go for my content if I'm from MPP. I know where to go for my content if I'm from NDC. You may say it might bring biased kind of news coverage. However, I believe that it promotes a sense of accountability. Thank you very much.
Thank you once again for trusting our team to come back here and have a little chat with you. So we are talking about media. You know, we've always had information relayed to us since time immemorial. We had messengers, we had announcers, we had gong meters, we had the cupbearers of the kings. And until 1890s thereabouts, where we started having media houses, the first radio station we ever had in the world was in New York in 1910. Now, if you want to tell me that media houses should be able to give us information, it means that this information has been a major and important aspect of living since time memorial. Now, when we come to this politician, these are people that, you know, try to convince us to believe a lie they've concepted in their head. Now, if a media house that is supposed to give us authentic information information, real information, information that could be deadly or save a life, and these people are affiliated to them, we can't trust them. So today, ladies and gentlemen, panel of judges, we are against this motion. The media houses are not mandated to declare their stand with political officers. One, this is because it's going to restrict their freedom of press. We had a serious incident which is all over the news. A media house was having a live coverage and armed men walked into the studio to attack them. This is serious. This is to tell us that these people feel attacked by the workforce that these media houses are doing. So it should tell you that if a media house should partner with a particular political company or political office, then these people are going to influence the kind of information that should come to us. The next thing that this is going to do to us is that it's going to give us unreliable information. If I support you for whatever reason it is, if it is personal to me, no matter the bad you do, in my eyes, you are right. So I stand against the motion that media houses shouldn't or never should be mandated to declare their political stance. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you, esteemed judges. I stand here to counter the points hereby acclaimed by our the opponents. The first point, which is infringement and restricting press freedom. While our opponents may acclaim that mandating media houses to declare their political stance will go against their press freedom and restrict them in the kind of information they can declare to the public, we come against this opinion or position. This is because, in fact, the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, UNESCO, has emphasized that the importance of transparency in the media, ownership, and financing. So UNESCO has actually declared that media organizations in various countries should declare their political affiliations and their source of financing, so that they can actually, the public are allowed the judgment to come from, they are allowed the opportunity to see through the actual perspective they are coming from. And by doing this, we can promote accountability and transparency in media reporting. The second point my opponents raised, which is unreliable information or bias. We counter this argument because this is a simplistic view of the influence and the complexities of the media. Research has shown that audiences are often unable to discern where an information is coming from and any biases that are attached to it. Furthermore, the influence of media on the public opinion is often more inside than overt, making it difficult for audiences to declare.
Time's up.
Thank you.
News media organizations are supposed to give us unadulterated information, and so if they are mandated to declare their political affiliations publicly, it's going to question the credibility of the information they are giving to the general public. People are going to see that whatever information they are giving to us, they are speaking from a biased point of view. And those in the opposition party will not even listen to that particular news outlet. In Ghana recently, there's one TV or radio outlet that is known to be affiliated to one and only one party. And then when you tune in, you realize that whatever they are showing there, about 90% is geared towards that political party. Even when something is happening in the country and we are all saying, oh, this is not good, they will tune it in favor of them. And so we stand against the motion that news media outlets should be mandated to declare their political affiliations publicly. We are looking for the authentic information. We want clear information so that we, the public, can make informed decisions in the country. Thank you.
So as we conclude, promoting a healthy and functioning democracy in Ghana is necessary for news media houses and organizations to mandatorily accept that they are belonging to a particular group or political party. It then helps transparency and accountability Therefore, consumers will be able to make informed decisions about the news they consume. They will be able to help differentiate between news and opinion pieces, making it very clear to them about what they need, and they will not be biased when reporting. I will conclude on this. Based on the evidence, I believe with no doubt you have been convinced that we should mandate that media houses accept the fact that they are part of a particular political group. And we hope that what we've brought up to you will be accepted. Thank you very much.
I hope you've enjoyed the debate so far. Ultimately, there's been a strong tie between transparency and accountability for my own opponent and our point, which is restriction of freedom of the press. And per the example my colleague stated regarding Metro TV incident last night, and the fact that I would like to also pose this, that my judges, Bella, audience, and my opponents, so are you to tell me if the media houses are mandated and you, the individual, you decide to change your stance from maybe this party to this party, what happens to the media house? So in conclusion, I believe that news media houses should not and never be mandated to have a political affliction. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Let's put our hands together for them.
Our expectation is to win this debate because we believe that we hit the salient points on the head, so we are winning.
We are very expectant that we are going to win this debate. We are sure we've been able to convince the general public and especially the judges. We are definitely winning this.
Well, it has been an intense night, but the moment we've all been waiting for is finally here, where we get to find out which group wins tonight's debate. And of course, who also emerges with the title as the best speech for tonight, basically. And our judges are here, and so I believe they're ready.
Yes, indeed.
All right. I'm throwing it over to you now to take over.
Thank you very much. So before we get into the ultimate winner for this debate session, we would first want to also award the best speaker, as we indicated before we started, that all of you had sessions distributed amongst yourselves, and you made a speech, a presentation for and against the topic under debate at one point in time or the other. In scoring you, we had your content, your style, and your strategy as three areas that we were looking at. And that has led us to identify the best speaker for the debate session. Eric?
Right. So the best speaker, are we ready? Are we ready? A hand of applause at least. Give them the energy. Once the energy is there, there's no surprise. Right. So actually, in all rounds, our job was to pick the best speaker for all since the beginning, the rounds that we've had. Okay, so in the first round, for group 1 and 2, Priscilla was the best presenter. And then between 3 and 4, Belinda you say purple, I'm colorblind, even though I can see. So Belinda also emerged as the best speaker.
The best speaker for the final, in fact, the overall best speaker for this debate session, who also happens to be amongst you, is Belinda in purple. Okay. Right, so congratulations, Priscilla, and the overall best speaker who won in all 2 sessions. That's the group stage and the final, Belinda. Let's put our hands together for Belinda. Great. Now to the overall winner for this debate session for the Top INTERN Season 2. You all advanced very good arguments, but obviously we were looking out for the best. And also the most verifiable references that you made, some of them were a bit questionable. We must underscore that. So for instance, the references you made about what happened in the Metro TV studios was not entirely true. It's not a reflection of the truth of what exactly happened. So yes, it was a situation that you could describe as one that almost got to the point of a live program being interrupted, but they didn't get into the studio. Eventually we got detail of what happened. Yes, it was quite concerning, in fact, what happened and the details as we had it, but it wasn't as you explained. So that's just to put it on record. Also, group 2, you made some references to certain publications as well. You didn't give us full detail of it, so we didn't understand the context in which you were putting it up, if you are advancing an argument as well. So I think the next time you have the opportunity to advance the debate, please bring some clarity. And it's one of the things that we put out when we started, that we're going to look for clarity of expression and then also the strong points that you were making. So in all this put together, we have had to struggle to get to who wins, but Eric would have a quick bite on the comment as well.
Yeah, and so for the growth of the program, and I believe this is not going to be the last for you, one observation I also made is, even though some of you had the facts, it's as if you allowed the pressure to get to you, and so the delivery wasn't as smooth as top intern would have, wished, especially the supporting, members, those who presented after the main speaker, because you were supposed to make us get the sense in what the first speakers presented. And so we are hoping that even when they were down, so you have Priscilla becoming the best presenter, even though she was the second speaker in the first round. And that gives a boost to the first presenter. And so I'm hoping that going forward, you don't let the pressure get to you. This is something you have read about. You've been given the topic over time. You've gone through it. It's all about delivery. See yourself as a presidential candidate and give it to us as we want going into the future. Thank you.
Thank you. And the winner of the group is the group that argued against the motion. And that is group 3. Let's put our hands together for them. Okay, congratulations.
Many thanks to Academic City University College.
It's been an absolutely fun night with a display of intellect right here at the Academic City University College as our contestants went through the debate, tackling a number of topics, and I hope that you were impressed. Well, I must say congratulations to the team that emerged winner for today. There they are right behind me. And interestingly, one of their team members also picked up the award for the best speech for tonight, Belinda. So congratulations to you and to all of you as well for doing an incredible job. I think that it's been an exciting evening. And I must say big thank you to Speech Forces for coordinating today's episode, especially because they handle training of our delegates as well as, making sure that we have the debate clubs from the various universities also join us here. And I hope you all enjoyed yourselves. So we're going to have this again, aren't we? Where you would now be on the podium debating. Deal? So we can find out the best university in Ghana? Yes. That one there, they're saying yes. Well, we have students from University of Ghana, from GIMPA, and also from Academic City University College. And speaking of which, one of our judges is the university librarian here, Mr. Eric Amponsa-Mwafo. Thank you so much for joining us. And also, the host of the Key Points on TV3 as well as Ghana Tonight, Mr. Alfredo Kanse. Absolutely enjoyed having you here. Absolutely. And anyway, a big thank you to all our sponsors as well. This is the Top Intern, and next week we'll continue the journey. And so do not miss out on any episode. My name is Perla Mundi. It's been a pleasure. We'll see you again next week. Good night.
The Top Intern Season 2 is brought to you by Tampico.